Alright, so let's begin to make this little crafty book here. So we're going to take some napkin, and all we're going to do is just tear it. Just random pieces here. So anyway, there we go. We got enough here to start. So we got that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some Mod Podge. Just going to take this Mod Podge and just spread it over here on the book. Oh, a little much, but okay. Alright, so once we get that taken care of, there we go. We're just going to take our pieces of napkin. We're just going to place it on here, just randomly, just chunk it on here any way we see fit. It doesn't have to be any organized way in any shape or form. As a matter of fact, the less organized and the more random it is, the better it's going to turn out. Feel free to let it hang over. As a matter of fact, you want the paper to hang over the edges. Make sure that you get paper hanging over the edge. So I'll make sure I get that taken care of. Make sure we get the edges. Alrighty, and there's no such thing as right or wrong on this, so you don't have to worry about messing up, because you can't. Here we go. We'll add a little piece right there, and I'll deal with that later. Put one right here. There we go. So this is what we got so far. What I'm going to do is let this dry a little bit, and then we'll come back for the next stage. So, what we'll do now is we'll just take dabs of more Mod Podge, and we'll just go over top of all that. And you may ask, why aren't I doing this side of the book? Well, I have this star over here, and I want to keep that star. I'm going to actually shape that out. So I'm not going to deal with that side of the book right now. I'm just going to work on this side. So we're just going to get some more glue, and all we're going to do is just kind of tap it all over the place to get this first layer of napkin to kind of settle down. And become permanently affixed to their spot. There we go. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's time for the cats to be playing, so they're about having a good time. Violet's sitting on the couch watching me, being nice for now. So we'll just continue with this here. cats. It's Margot and Cinderella chasing each other. So as you can see, once you get this glue on it, they tend to mat down and create these really wonderful little wrinkles. Just like this. So we're going to let that completely dry, and then I'll get right back with you. So I've decided while that is drying, I figured out what I would do the star with, and I'm going to do the star with pipe cleaners. Got red for fire, blue for water, green for earth, yellow for air, and purple for spirit. So I just cut the pipe cleaners and formed it over that star there. And what I'm going to do is just glue them down. So let's get to that right now. Alrighty, so just spread a little bit of this Mod Podge over that star. There we go. What I'm going to do is just lay these out over it. Alrighty, so I got that glued down. This is pretty much dry. I've got this on here. Now, it doesn't really make a difference what colors I used or what I used. I like using the pipe cleaners, but using the elements is just for my own personal entertainment, I guess. So what we're going to do, let's get some more glue out of here. This one's pretty done. And we'll start working on this other side, since I got the pinnacle, or the star rather. I got it done. Let's start sticking this stuff on here. Pretty much done. As I said before, you want to make sure that you have some over the edge. There you go. Alrighty, so I'm just going to take this glue, this Mod Podge, and just go over the top of all these just like this. And when I get it complete, I'll get back with you. Alrighty, so now that I got that all done, put a little bit of glue, and then the pieces on the edges here, all I'm going to do is glue them and then have them come down the other side here so that they wrap around and that they're glued on the inside here. So first thing I'm going to do is let this outside dry more, and then we'll work on that once I get the outside all dry. Alrighty, so we have this done so far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to glue these edges down and in so that they fold back.
She organized those once, and he goes back through and redoes what she did, and then she'll go back through and put it back the way she had it. They'll do that like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, just stop, seriously, oh my god. You ever just sit?
Alrighty, so now I'm just doing the edges here, getting these done. Alrighty, so we're finishing up this last bit here. There we go. Go around here and make sure that I got these edges. And we'll let that dry. And after it dries, we'll continue with the next step. Alrighty, so just real quick, I'm going to have to apply a little more glue to this, but it's drying pretty decently. So a few things that I have planned for it is purple is my favorite color, if you don't count black as a color, because technically black is not a color, black is lack of color. But black and purple. So I'm going to paint this purple and probably give it some black highlights. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually paint this star. And I also want to, I'm going to have to dig my pipe cleaners back out, but I also want to form a circle around the star to make it a pinnacle. Anyway, I'm going to paint it, but also I'm going to put some latches on it so that from here and around the other side here, and I'll have a strap to tie it up. And I got these little fasteners.
And you're going to make little buttons.
There we go. I got these little fasteners to fix to this here, and then it goes through the leather, it goes through the book, and then on the other side, and then I can extend them out to pin that on there. My wife calls those brads. She said those are called brads. It just says paper fasteners. So anyway, I needed a few of those, so we're going to use a couple of those as well. So eventually this will get like a little latch here. And I do plan on putting some bookmarks and some other kind of little baubles and trinkets on it as well. So we'll continue with what we're doing and start working some more. Alrighty, so we're going to begin by painting. And this is Royal Violet Apple Barrel purple paint. It's 50 cents at Walmart. We're just going to nicely coat some there real quick here. And just I didn't feel there was a necessity to coat it with white paint to begin with, considering that this paint is pretty dark, and I didn't think that it would be necessary, considering that the actual book was originally blue anyway, and I was pretty sure it would cover up the paper towel, and it does seem to be doing a pretty good job of it. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't need a second coat, but if that's what's necessary, we'll take care of that. But it does seem like this first coat seems to be doing pretty good as is. Looks like I did just about exactly as much paint as I needed for that one side there, which is amazing. Now once it dries, it may possibly need another coat, and I'm pretty much sure that the spine is going to need another good coat. But so let's just squirt a little bit more here on the spine, and let's do a little bit around here. Let's see how much of this I can get done before I have to get the small brush out and work around that star. Getting close to the star. Let's try to stay. I'm going to stay away from that because I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to leave those pipe cleaners as the colors that they are, or whether or not I'm going to coat them with black and just make it a black pinnacle. I haven't quite decided that yet, and to be totally honest, I probably won't make that decision until the last possible moment where I have to. So anyway, as you can see, there you go. That isn't looking bad, if I do say so myself. Having the contrast of purples from light and dark is really part of how the book is supposed to look. So I may not have to recoat, may not have to put another coat on that. So we're going to let this dry, and then I'll get back with you when this gets dry.